Hi, this is Katie with Crafting with Katie, and today I'm making a Valentine's gift card holder. I'm starting with a craft piece of cardstock that's cut at 3 inches by 12 inches, and I'm scoring it at 4 inches and 8 inches. And I'm not actually sure why I scored it on one side and then flipped it over. I was thinking I was folding it a different way. You don't need to flip it over. But I'm just going ahead and scoring it and creasing it at the 4-inch mark and the 8-inch mark, just to give it a little trifold look. I'm using this new My Creative Time Stitch Sweetheart and XOXO dies, and I'm taking the large and medium-sized heart dies to start. I'm going to run this larger heart die through the vagabond on the front panel of the card. Now I'm also going to cut that larger heart out of this woven paper from Die Cuts with a View using the white woven paper. It just gives it a nice texture. So I'll just go ahead and cut a square of this paper out and run this through the vagabond as well. Okay, so here's my cute little white heart, and it fits in there really nicely. And now I'm actually going to use the smaller heart and run that through the vagabond so it cuts out a little bit overlapping. So I can have a little bit of the white heart cut out as well as the craft cardstock. One of the great things about these dies is that it cuts the stitching not just on the heart itself but on the negative. So that gives it a really fun look and gives you a lot of possibilities of what you can do with these dies. So I'm also going to cut the heart, the small heart, out of pattern paper. And this Love Me collection from My Mind's Eye is an older collection that is absolutely one of my favorite Valentine papers. So I'm going to use this cute little red and white heart pattern paper to cut the little heart out of. So the card is starting to come together. You can see this cute little red heart fits just perfectly into the white heart. Now this is another new My Creative Time product, the mini stitched envelope, which is absolutely adorable. So I'm going to make a little teeny envelope to put on top of the hearts using this pattern from the same paper pack. Here's how the little die cut cuts out. It is so cute, and it makes little score lines, so it's super easy to put together. And if you go to the My Creative Time page, you can see all of the products that Emma and the other design team members have made with this die, and there's so many possibilities with it. It is just adorable. You can see it just comes together really easily. Now I'm going to pull out some cute little teeny tiny heart dies from an older My Creative Time die set called the 4x4 Journal Die and More. And I'm going to use some more pattern paper, some little polka dot pattern paper from this collection to just cut myself some teeny tiny hearts. Now these little dies are so tiny that I do not separate them, so whenever I cut them, it cuts out the hearts and the little stars that are attached. So what I do is I actually keep them all in a little bowl. So I often will have what I need already cut out. So I'm just kind of playing around and seeing what I want to do with these. Maybe I'll have some hearts scattered up off of like they're coming from the envelope. And then I was thinking of putting a larger heart right on the center there. But I might use the one from that XOXO set with the little stitched hearts. So maybe I'll try that with the pattern paper and run that through the vagabond. So I did cut the little heart, but it's looking way too busy to me, that pattern on top of the XOXO pattern. So I think I'm actually just going to maybe use that with the other hearts and maybe try cutting that out with just a red cardstock instead. Okay, here it is in red, and I like that a lot better, so I will definitely use that one. Alright, so before I put everything together, there's one last piece that I need to do, and that is to make the gift card holder. So I'm using the brand new My Creative Time stitched gift card pocket, and it is super cute with the stitching on there, and I just love the curved look of it. And then I'm going to pick another pattern from this same pattern paper collection from My Mind's Eye. Here's how it looks all cut out, and I decided to go ahead and use the same pattern paper that I used for the small heart. And this also scores the same way that the little envelope does. And for me, I had a little bit harder time seeing the score lines on this just because of the paper I used. It was a little harder. But once I kind of moved it around, I was able to feel it, and then I used my bone folder to just tighten up the creases. I decided to use some Scotch Quick Dry to adhere mine together, but you could probably use any kind of adhesive. What I like about this little pocket is that it is nice and small, and you can really use it on lots of different things, because if you look at the size of it, your gift card goes right about to the top of that curve. So it's not, it's really about the size of the gift card. It's not much bigger. I'm going to be adhering this gift card pocket right into the center panel of the gift card holder. But first, I'm going to put a sentiment below it. So I'm using the brand new My Creative Time Puffy Hearts Just For You stamp set, and I'm going to use this little Love You stamp. I'm inking my stamp up with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm just going to put it in the corner of this panel. And then I just want to see exactly how high the gift card will go over the pocket. You can see it really just reaches the top of it. So I can just trying to figure out where exactly I want to adhere this to the actual gift card holder. So I'm just using my ATG to adhere this down to the gift card holder, and that should keep it pretty sturdy. And I love how this paper is double-sided, so you get a cute little pattern on the inside too when the person removes the gift card. I think it just gives it a cute little look. Now it's time to start putting this together. So I'm actually going to be gluing the hearts onto the second panel. It's not going to be on the front. So I'm going to just put some Scotch Quick Dry, and then I'm just putting it through the front panel so I can have it placed exactly where it should be so that you see through those front hearts. But I'm adhering it actually to the middle panel. So you can see I'm just lifting that up so you can see through to the middle panel. So there's that first heart. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the middle heart, but I'm going to speed this up for you. I'm going to use a stamp from another new stamp set, Once Upon a Time, from My Creative Time. This is another brand new stamp set. And for this one, I'm going to be stamping onto the middle panel, and it's the little XOXO stamp. I think it's super cute. I'm just going to stamp that right in the corner here of this middle panel. Very cute. I think this needs just a little something, so I think one of these little teeny polka dotted hearts I cut out will be perfect. So I'm just going to adhere one of those next to the sentiment just to give it a little extra. So now this section is finished. So 2 of the 3 sections are finished now. And now I'm ready to go ahead and adhere my little mini envelope together while I'm at it. So I'm just using a little bit of the Scotch Quick Dry again, just a few dots to keep it closed together. I think this is just so cute. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of camera here. It's just the cutest little thing. I have to think of ways I can use this in school. Wouldn't the kids just love to find these teeny envelopes on their desks? Actually, kids who like writing notes to each other would love these. Probably wouldn't be a good thing to encourage though. And then I'll adhere this little heart to the center. Perfect. So now once this is folded together, the envelope is actually going to go onto the outside. So I'm going to have it overlapping just a little bit. So I'll just adhere that out to that outside panel. So these are the little polka dotted hearts that I had cut for the front. I was going to have them just kind of coming off of the envelope. But as I'm putting them down on here, I'm not really loving the way they look. And I actually have a little bowl of red hearts that I have left over from when I made my Christmas cards, because I had used the little die that I showed you earlier that had the stars and hearts. I had used the stars for my Christmas cards, so when I cut the stars, it also cut the hearts. So I just kept them in a bowl, knowing I'd probably use them for Valentine's Day. So I'm actually going to switch and use the red hearts. So I think I like those better. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere a few of those on to the card instead. And then the last thing I want to do is just add another sentiment from Once Upon a Time. And there's a cute little Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm just going to add that up into the top corner here. Lastly, I'm going to use this red Bitty Box Basics paper from Paper Tray Ink and these fun stitched edge dies from My Creative Time to make a little belly band to hold together this trifold card. So I need it to actually be longer than the die. So the way I'm going to do that is start by placing the die onto my strip of paper that's actually 8 inches long. And I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to keep it in place. And I'm going to hang the edge of the die, you can see on the right there, off of the edge of my cutting plate so that it's not going to cut off that last edge, because this die actually cuts completely to the edge. And I'm going to run that through the Vagabond. And now what we've got is it's cut down part of the way. And you can see it's cut clean on one side, and the other side it just stops partway through. So now I can overlap the die, just overlapping one of the little scallops that it makes, and then use the washi tape again to adhere it down. And then this way, if I overlap again so I don't have that edge piece cutting, just overlapping it so that part is not within the cutting plates, then it will go ahead and it won't be able to cut that apart, and it'll make one long belly band that will be the perfect size for my project. So here's what we got. It's cut out perfectly. So that's a great way to be able to extend your dies. So now what I can do is just wrap it around, and it's going to be a little bit longer than I need, but I can just cut off the part that I don't want. But that's not a problem. Longer we can work with. It's shorter, that's an issue. So I can just use my scissors here and cut off a little bit of the excess. And then I'll just use some of my adhesive to adhere those last two parts together. Again, the Scotch Quick Dry. That's kind of my go-to adhesive. Now I can slide the little belly band onto it, and it holds it all together just perfectly. So there is our final project, and thank you so much for watching. For more information, you can visit my blog, craftingwithkatie.com.